Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is OBC Radio, Second Chances for the Forgotten Voices. And we are here today bringing you update on the SSL saga. Well, based on my last communication with Dr. Nigel Clark, the Finance Minister of Jamaica, I must commend him and say thank you for recanting your statement where you were asking citizens of Jamaica to repay the salaries of SSL worker. However, while we thank you and commend you on that move, there are questions that need to be answered. So stay tuned as we continue to dive into this matter. OBC Radio News investigates.
Yeah. Watch your style, yeah. Me love Jamaica, me nah sell it out. Me ya do this, me nah talk with no doubt. Everybody see the salary. One to the teacher, the helper, the nurse, it a bother we.
Jamaica.
When Andrew said Jamaica freeze, nobody do a run. This a go be the biggest robbery without gun. You ever see a man hold a country fi ransom? Jamaica get fucked without a condom. You can't call police, that nah come. A the baddest man this me ever see a runny ground. When no in a bag of chat, him a do it and done. And any boy talk, lose them teeth and tongue. First thing, look where him to daddy one. As the youth get a break, you take for this long. Next thing, where you know bro got from, cause that a fi artist, and no fi politician. Mr. Man, where you know about Clark's brand, thief your teeth it from the Gaza done. From you, born you are a gentleman, no a Clarks you are use and a win election. Jamaica, me ask our dream, how this a digital thing ya adin. Then I wear the bag juice sell and the peanut sell and the jerk man forget card machine. Hold on, all the go them a go get teeth. It look like money pull up I go get leak. Then I go on a back road, hip strip. You a send them customer, you go lock face.
Jamaica.
A brawling robbery. You know see a brawling robbery. This better than the beryllium. You know see a buy neck them halfway. Brawling robbery. You know see a brawling robbery. You know see a citizen around and a jump Mexico all gladly. Jamaicans are run out, Chinese them a run in. You know see a tour road them alone look clean. Everywhere you turn in this a crime scene. All the returning residents afraid to fly in. Yeah. Public sector's a cry. Can't believe you a deal with them so dry eye. You know see the minimum wage need a maximum raise. Poor people need a little blight. Yeah. Poor people need a little blight. What me say? Poor people need a little blight. Yo, SSL, they know where the hell. All the money gone, now nobody can tell. All the save, we are save the interest now swell. You know what you got happen when bucket got well. Tax have to pay, where's the return? Every time you no win, every bridge you no burn. When the youth them a hustle, that are the concern. We no praise wrongdoing, but where them a go turn? Maybe ask what we. How this a digital thing ya adin. Then I wear the bag juice sell and the peanut sell and the jerk man forget card machine. Hold on, all the go them a go get.
So we're back here today. And Dr. Nigel Clark. Dr. Nigel Clark has recanted his statement and said the citizens of Jamaica no longer will have to pay for SSL workers' salary. The people your government led by Prime Minister Andrew Holness has spoken openly when he campaigned that transparency his government would be led by transparency. Now, I don't have to ask if there is corruption in the government led by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. So, based on the fact that we know that corruption is in the government led by Andrew Holness, we would like to hold you accountable, Mr. Holness, for your words when you campaign on transparency. And based on the corruption that we know and you are aware, that we are now aware that corruption is rampant from the top of the government in Jamaica, we would like for you to pull, this is for you, Dr. Nigel Clark. The citizens of Jamaica and her diaspora would love for you to pull receipts. We are no longer confident in the government that we elect to serve. So would like for the receipts from the insurance firm that you had received and the amount of money that was received from the insurance firm that will now goes to pay SSL workers. Also, when did you, Dr. Nigel Clark, learn about this claim? Because we spoke almost 2 weeks ago, and there was no option based on our conversation apart from the citizens of Jamaica to pay the salaries of SSL workers, who, by the way, let we put emphasis, had fraudulently stole $3 billion, over $3 billion from that investment firm. Just a sec, listeners. My producer is saying something to me. Can it reach over here? Okay, the producer want me to hear myself. But why you want me to hear myself if you are hearing it? Because you put him on. Oh. But well, not as yet. Yes. And I think this mic is gonna need battery because it's showing red. But as we were saying just now, when we had this conversation 2 weeks ago, Dr. Nigel Clark, there was no option as into there was no option apart from the citizens of Jamaica repaying the salaries of SSL workers. So we would like to ask, and the citizens would like to know, transparency based on the lead Prime Minister, your boss, the Andrew Holness. When did you learn of this claim? Because 2 weeks ago, you said the government would pay. Is it that SSL did not divulge this important information that they had filed the claim back in April? So if it is that you knew that back in April a claim was filed, or based on our conversation, you had no knowledge to this because you're slow. There was no other option than the citizens would have to repay, and you're not asking them to repay it for a long time. However, you told the citizens of Jamaica that it would be $15 million. But when we spoke on a conversation, which you believe the conversation weren't being recorded, you were under the impression that the call wasn't being recorded. So you were being truthful. We believe you were being truthful and honest then. And you said it would cost $9 million, not $15 million. So we would like to ask you where the other 5-point-something million dollars was going to go to. Was this going to be part of the campaign money? Because if 5-point-something million dollars from each workers, and we get to understand it's 22 to 23 workers are there. So 5 point times 20, 5 point million times 5.2 million times 23. Where those money was going to, Dr. Nigel Clark? Were you and Andrew Holness a Labour Party? Was it your intention? Was it your intention? Pocket these money that you were asking the citizens to repay SSL salary, while knowingly there was an insurance claim taken out? Because, Dr. Nigel Clark, let's call a spade now. There's no way you're going to let me know, and the citizens of Jamaica and her diaspora, that the magnitude of what's going on. You said there is an investigation that's going on with SSL. Okay? So if there's an investigation that's going on with SSL, you also said that SSL is closed. And it will be closed. When I said to you, no, it should be, he said it is closed and it will be closed when the investigation is complete. It's just a few workers that we asked to remain there so the investigation can continue. Never heard of that. Because if there is an investigation going on, the place should be closed. You agree that it's closed. However, on the contrary, there are 23 workers. They're still working in order for this investigation to go on. And they need salary. Now, we know, and the public are aware, that when an investigation is launched in any company, any criminal investigation in any company, especially to a magnitude to this level, the company finances is frozen, the company is closed, and nobody can enter until the investigation is finished, or else we call tampering a crime scene. So if it is Dr. Nigel Clark that the SSL investment center is going to be closed, and you said it's closed, or it's on its verge to close, if 23 workers are still there and there is no salary to pay that private firm, is it fair to say, Dr. Nigel Clark, that the investment, all the investors' money has been frozen? Because it would make sense if it's under investigation. Any law-abiding citizens or any hierarchy who are investigating this matter would freeze those money while they do the investigation. Who are the other 70? Who are the other 40, 35 names? Investors' money that was stolen. Why did Prime Minister Andrew Holness leave SSL? We understand that any normal citizens, when investing in a firm, would do the investigation to find out, or even in any financial institute, would try to find out which bank or the best bank. Now, SSL has been around for almost half of a century, and has changed name on numerous occasions. With the previous name, they have been flagged by the financial, what they call them, the FSC. And I'm quite sure, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, that when you were investing your funds into SSL, you knew that this company has been flagged on numerous occasions. However, the workers, the bosses remain the same with different name changes. So you invested in that firm. What was the reason you invested in that firm and why you left? And how is it that you left and it was so easy for you to withdraw all of your money? Now we know that any financial institution, with any financial institution, when you invest your money, it's very easy for it to go in. But to get it out, it's a hell of a process. And for you to withdraw all your money from that firm, and just after you withdrew all your money from that firm, Prime Minister Holness, things start going down. What happened? What transpired? Now you take up Dr. Nigel Clark, a young, innocent, flamboyant looking, well-spoken, well-groomed and educated man, and put him as finance minister. And as he said, in his own words, he's not a career politician. Please understand, I'm not a career politician. So he's been a puppet there, and you pulling the string Prime Minister Holness. If it is that with this magnitude of money went missing in SSL and an investigation, and the world is talking about this, BBC, everybody's talking about it. And Dr. Nigel Clark, you would have knowledge that insurance claim was taken out, and when it was taken out, the fact that there was investigation going on. You said you have documents and papers and stuff in regards to what, and you seen to it that this investigation is seen through thoroughly. So how is it that you're seeing to it that this investigation is being seen through thoroughly, in your words? But, and also you mentioned transparency, but there was no mention to the claim that was taken out by SSL from this company in England, this insurance company in England, since April. May, June, July, we're in August, September, 5 months after the insurance claim came through. So if you knew about this insurance claim and that there was a possibility, because SSL, whoever taken out the, who is the person that filed for that insurance claim? That's another question we would love to answer, Dr. Nigel Clark. And that person who filed the insurance claim, weren't they in constant communication with the insurance firm? Because when you file a claim, I know that when you file an insurance claim, what you call that person that do my producer, what you call that person that do the adjuster? I know you have to be in constant communication with the adjuster. So the person that filed that insurance claim back in April, that was in constant communication with the adjuster, wasn't that person in constant communication with you, Dr. Nigel Clark, who is overseeing this investigation and making sure this investigation is investigated, seen through thoroughly? How is it that transparency had no mention to this insurance claim? And you project that there was no other option, even when I said to you, Dr. Nigel, when I beseech to you on behalf of the public, go back and recant that statement, and you said you have to understand, based on what we were saying, you were under pressure. You're faced with a choice. Now, if that choice was, and please don't come and say the choice that you were faced with was the insurance, because if the choice that you faced was with the insurance, then you wouldn't be so adamant that the citizens of Jamaica would have to repay the salary of SSL worker while the investigation is going on. And we want to ask you, how is it workers are still at SSL working when there's an investigation going on? It makes no sense. These people should be fired because the company is going to be closed. They should be subpoenaed to testify whenever they are needed to testify, if it is that the documents, travel documents need to be seized while the investigation goes on, then that's what should happen. Not this thing where you're telling us, oh, they got to get paid. Corruption, corruption, corruption. We see it. And it is so adamant on the corruption and what's going on. And the circle, if we follow, look at the Speaker of the House, Daphne. We'll touch that topic when we come back after the break. This is OBC Radio, Second Chances for the Forgotten Voices. Download the app in your Google Play Store or your Apple App Store, or ask Alexa to play OBC Radio. Stream us on the World Wide Web, obcradio.com. Follow us on all our social media platforms, OBC Radio on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Am I missing one? Sound like I'm missing one. TikTok, YouTube, on all social media platforms, OBC Radio right across the board. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Second Chances for the Forgotten Voices. We continue to expose corruption.
It look like money pull up, I go get lick. Then I go on a back road, hip strip. You a send them customer, you go lock face.
Jamaica.
A brawling robbery. You know see a brawling robbery. This better than the beryllium. You know see a buy neck them halfway. Brawling robbery. You know see a brawling robbery. You know see a citizen around and a jump Mexico all gladly. Style ya. Me love Jamaica, me nah sell it out. Me ya do this, me nah talk with no doubt. Everybody see the salary. One to the teacher, the helper, the nurse, it a bar away.
Jamaica.
When Andrew said Jamaica freeze, nobody do a run. This a go be the biggest robbery without gun. You ever see a man, but the country fi ransom. Jamaica get fucked without a condom. You can't call police, that da come. A the baddest man, this me ever see a runny ground. When no in a bag of chat, him a do it and done. And any boy talk, lose them teeth and tongue. First thing, look where him do to daddy one. As the youth get a break, you...
Yes, welcome back. We are back here on OBC Radio, Dr. Jermaine Gordon, and we are discussing these issues, that the corruption that goes on in Jamaica. And there are questions that need to be answered, and we won't rest until they're answered. We are holding you accountable for the transparency you guys promised. It's not only about the money, it's also about the accountability and justice. We need to hear an update on these issues. Now, the House Speaker has caught in wrongdoing, has broken the law, and she is overseeing the committee that she's passing the investigation to. Isn't this corruption? No. We can see why it is so important for the JLP government to try and keep the DPP, Paula Lewin, as DPP. Even though, based on the Constitution law, she has expired her time based on age and the time spent. However, they place her on vacation leave while they are trying to amend the law to get her back. Now, the only reason why the DPP, Paula Lewin, is being stricken to hold this position is because she, as a DPP, can free all of these monsters that we elected to serve us from their corruption. Because she, as a DPP, based on the Constitution, she has all right to say she's not prosecuting and no longer wish to continue with the case and need to explain to no one. So this is the reason why they are trying to keep that crow, Paula Lewin. These are a bunch of hyenas that we, the people of Jamaica, as elected to serve. This is where's the transparency? that you have all promised? How is it people can sleep with the door open? Where is the Andrew-onless that held the People's National Party accountable when they were involved in corruption and asked for the resignation of a certain member of parliament then? Why is that action not being brought forward now? All we're seeing is the people that are in close ally with Andrew-onless. Criminals, corrupt, 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 corrupt politicians, homosexuals. Not that I'm here to bash homosexual, but to speak on the hypocrisy that these monsters that we call leader. Now, if you notice, it's a time for exposure and everything is just coming out. As I said, Jamaica, be prepared for an awakening. Colonel Charles Jr. His secretary and the leader of the Clarendon department is caught being jolly with the mouth, performing oral sex on an older gentleman. And for those of you who have seen the video, you can know that these guys, as we spoke, has no gag reflex. And these are the people that are in power. We will be joining. He's on. Luke George Foster will be joining us to speak on these matters. This is OBC Radio, Second Chances for the Forgotten Voices.
I'm here, but last time I checked, my birth certificate was my last one. Thank you. It might be a couple.
Repeat. What you said the last time, what you said, Luke?
The last time I checked, my last name was Cook. But you might be prophesying of that my mother did me an injustice. So I might I will pick up Mr. Parker. So I will let you take my name Pastor.
No. My bad. It's
No, I know where you got it from. It's from another state, and I think first I said that all is forgiven.
I don't know where Foster came up with just now.
No, and he did first me as Mr. Pot in a conversation.
Oh. Oh, that's what Jeffrey called you, right? That's what Mr. Tavares called you. Oh, so he's the one that's
my mother Pastor. God, that on these programs, my true Papa is being revealed.
Well, we all need Father God in times like these.
Yes.
Now, we're here talking about the statement that Nigel Clark gave that the citizens of Jamaica will no longer need to pay SSL workers. Because miraculously, and I said miraculously because 2 weeks ago when we spoke, there was no other option as to say there was another way out apart from the citizens to repay the salary, to pay the salary for SSL work, the workers that are remain there. So now, with something at this magnitude, and the world is talking, the world has been speaking about this. Dr. Nigel Clark spoke during our discussion and said that he wants, never before in the history of Jamaica, there has been an investigation because there was holding cash plus, he called all those names, and said this time he wants to make sure that the investigation is seen through thoroughly. So the fact that he's making sure this investigation is being thoroughly seen through, how is it that in April, SSL filed insurance claim with the insurer from the UK and nothing was mentioned in regards to this? I don't know if you know that when you do an insurance claim, the person that responsible for that insurance claim is called the adjuster. And that adjuster, he or she is in constant communication with whoever filed that claim. Now, the important question would like to know, who is it from SSL that filed the insurance claim? Why Dr. Clark made no mention that there is a possibility that the citizens may end up don't even have to pay because there's an insurance we're waiting on. All these questions are need to be answered. We'll give you the floor, Luke.
I think we're here to light statement told on Tuesday, the 9th of September. Since I'm not at the history of none, I'm just curious as to what the other bodies like Jamaica, the Financial Regulation Authority is doing in terms of investigation. Where is the first report reporting the investigation? I'm delighted to know that because you and others have tried to the feet of the government of Jamaica, that out of the rabbit hat has now dropped 1 million US, which is 155 million Jamaican dollars, which will be used to pay the bills So it seems to me that it's not just salary that is being paid to the system. And now that the investigation is taking place, this might have been part of what was the finding that there was an insurance and that they now kept paying money. Is it that the money is going, and this he said will cover his home there in September? Um, Doc- Dr. Brown, Dr. Gordon, sorry, may I give your name here now? We're in September, so will this $155 million suffice to cover the bill while the investigators are doing their investigation? What will be the duration of the investigation? And so, and and something that is puzzling me, Dr. Gordon, is whether or not there has been a time frame for when this investigation will be wrapped up. And if in that time frame, this $155 million would have depended on salaries and bills, um, where will they get the remaining sum of money from to cover the time frame that this investigation? Because he did say in the conversation, we need them to be at work. We need them to be able to give us access to information. And hence, we can't wrap up SSL. But in that same length and breadth, refers to the SSL as an entity really is in a closure state. And he did not give you any information as to what are going to happen to the investor, what will happen to the interest that they are to gain on the investment portfolio, and if they are paid if needed, uh, at what time in that framework do they think that they'll be able to sell off assets and that of the ownership of this is their asset so they can at least recover the capital for these investors? There is a lot of gray anatomy that Dr. Clark is not going to answer. In this statement that he puts out, though, Dr. Gordon, it would have been nice to say the government, he said that the government is facing a backlash after Clark announced earlier this month that $15 million of public money will be used to cover. Well, if it's $15 million, that means the insurance money can cover a couple months because if the recurring expenditure, Dr. Gordon, is $15 million from the statement that we do, can cover the expenses of the system to avoid the disruption and the ongoing investigation in the allegation, into the allegation facing the institution of $4 billion of client money were that were used. He has sufficient money to carry, let's say, $1.159 million, $15 million every month. It can go up to roughly can go up to 8 months money. So rest assured that you have won for the Jamaican people because it was after your public outcry and that source that the public became awakened by what was going to be done in the name of the Jamaican people without their approval. And it was courageous of you to call Dr. Clark to the stand for them to discover this one million US dollar insurance that is now um, going to be used to pay this is the wild
Yeah,
investigation.
yes, but I'm still not comfortable and okay with the SSL workers continue working and being paid while there's an ongoing investigation going on. I just want to break here for a quick moment where we have developing story from out of Jamaica. It's alleged that a member from the Integrity committee has been shot earlier today, and his briefcase was stolen. Now, it's also alleged that this member from the integrity committee that was shot and briefcase was stolen earlier today had some confrontation with Edward Warmington in recent days. We'll continue to follow up on this story and keep you posted. OBC Radio investigates. We also have another caller online that want to put her input, Luke. So just bear a second. Good afternoon, caller.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon. Yes, you're on here.
Not here. I have a question.
Oh, you want to ask me a personal question? Okay then. So Luke, you can continue with your two-piece.
What happened?
Well, regarding the news, regarding the breaking news just now is that member from the integrity committee was shot earlier today in Jamaica, and his briefcase was taken away from him. And it's alleged that this member that from the integrity committee that was shot this morning and his briefcase stolen had some altercation with Warmington in previous time. So we'll continue to follow up on this story and bring it to you as we get it.
Yeah, then we coming to the truth. And we go and protect themselves and hold up. So nobody surprised if it was not specially designed to happen. But I was told, here's what was told. Um, like in some audiences that we do need the staff to be able to allow us to understand how their system works. This will help the aid the sector to be able to come to some sort of conclusion and possibly do the shining so that at least at the end of the process, we are better able to understand how certain things would have operated at this time. But I can well imagine that we might also be getting cooperation of some of the interested staff who now can speak to the, the, the untenable situation that is now put in that institution. And my heart really goes out to the investors because one investor will keep and work that they need for immediate and future endeavor. Um, and again, as I said, to as an annex to the discussion that we were having, how are they getting what is happening in terms of the investment? We only heard of Usain Bolt as the main out there, while we are aware that Usain was not food that was not exclusive to the rob that several other investors were robbed of money who remain nameless today. And then we have to look at the portfolio of the other people, the ramifications and the backlash that it have and the wider society because although it's a private fund, a private entity, government teams have taken the acquisition of the investment question. And I'm wondering if government have the jurisprudence to do that, or are we going to be seeing the five granted and child members of the citizen being prosecuted, their assets seized, and the investors? Okay, I think it's time some people are going to silver bundles. I think we need to make an example of it. But in light of, look at what is happening now with the Speaker of the House, and I am championing the cause that this is why we need full disclosure of the six bad apples that have been identified in the Integrity Commission. So the Integrity Commission may be coming closer to bringing these matters before the court, and some people going to wear the silver band stripe outfit. And it is with deep regret that we are now a member of that the fraternity. I thought yes, in the way that they have. I thought that it would have been wise if the people the security to get these people. Because you and I know that it's intimidation, necessarily to keep people quiet and so that people start talking about this. And right away, people are gonna say, I don't want to lose my life. But it's about it. And before you know, and then
Not
you're
that.
shocked at what happened. But interestingly, that if minister has found the insurance, could there be other money that has been invested as part of your showing that it's managed by the minister will discover? Are the insurance or the auditors any closer to wrapping up the SSL saga? And what does that mean for the confidence of the Jamaican people in light of the fact that we are now dealing largely on private entities that will robbing the money and that needs to go to some type of people.
You see, what we need,
They want this money. I thought it was only for people. Yeah, my well, that people from the uppers, like the themselves would be that.
what we need here, what we need in Jamaica is an independent, we need an independent party or entities to investigate these matter. We can't no longer depend on the People's National Party when they are in power to do their own investigation, or the Jamaica Labour Party when they are in power to do their own investigation. We need an independent party to, like, I'm just hearing from a caller just now where these are things they're crying for. If we can't call for a international entity to, and but it's so sad that we have to call an international entity and have to be careful also. But what is it that we as a people can do and get done to get these corrupt vultures that we elect to serve arrested and charged until that door can open before these can happen?
So, they're about
It's just sad to see where the country is going. And we as a people have to wake up. It's very sad. I'm saying we as a people, it's very sad to see what's going on.
abroad as well as people at home who have been educated the Jamaican citizen for what I call the awakening. That, you hear people coming out of the conference and from there, they're saying, boy, they're going to ride the orange wave. And we're seeing that against the backdrop. The PMP is the left of the two evils. What Jamaican don't need is the left of two. We need a government that is spoke by, who is elected by the people, who will work for the people to ensure that their individual and collective goals and aspirations are reached. That a Vision 30 gives the assurance that what we need to do is to be able to give people the confidence that their situation will be remedied and that they will Jamaica is going to be the place or place of paradise where they can do business, create a family, and live in peace and harmony and enjoy the prosperity of the work that they send these politicians there to do. The politicians have taken onto themselves a position that we go in and we come out richer than we went in. And then the supporters who are going to go to the next poll, I heard a supporter coming out of a discussion or a meeting with with Prime Minister Andrew Holness and says, boy, he has done the best job for the country. And if he's given 5 more years, she's sure that he will accomplish more in that 5 years than what any other administration have done. Now, when people are of this mindset, it's a dangerous mindset because it means that what we are here trying to unravel for the benefit of the Jamaican people, people still are of the opinion that these politicians are there and they're working earnestly in their behalf, even when in light of the evidence that is presented. Because what is troubling to me now, that there was warning, there were alarm being raised about this stuff. A gentleman by the name of Mitchell gave a damning report on the
Luke,
at the time seemed to father to take the fight and to say, all right, call a full stop on this process. Let us get to the bottom of this. We can't allow the shit to hit fan. We have to stop this. And then it finally busts out now at the scene that yes, there was some shenanigans carried out. This is in fact
just a sec,
there was
Luke, just
yes.
a sec. My producer is telling me that time is against us. We have gone over the time, so we just have to wrap up. With
Yeah.
a final with your final words. We have a minute. With final words with a minute.
Yeah. So in 1 second, we have to look at people, and I think you have to me. I have signed the petition. I'm asking other people to sign the petition. We have to be more vigilant to ensure that people get a full understanding of what is being done in their name, in the name of the people that we send to represent us in the people's office. We're just not getting finance for money, and it's time for them to go. We are calling on um, forward thinking Jamaicans who will put country above gain to, to be available and to run as independent and give the Jamaican people chance. And if the PNP comes to power in the next election, that we will continue Dr. Gordon before their feet to the shin. Enough is enough, and the people have to say that. And then they have to work seriously to hold all of these people.
We appreciate you being here. Take your time out of your busy schedule, Luke, to be here with us today.
No,
We do appreciate it.
It's to be here. Really cool. And then I commend you on the part of show and continue to.
I will continue to speak up on behalf of the people. And I just want to put to add. I just want to add emphasis on the petition. We have a petition going around, people, and days are winding down. We really need to get these. We can do it. We need 15,000 signatures. We need 14,000 and under signatures to get this valid and complete. What the petition will do, it get us out from talking. For years we have been talking, blocking road, demonstrating, and so on and so forth. Now we're taking it to social media and stuff. But never before we have put in black and white. This is how law is going, just like how we elect them by the ink. Go to the ballot and put it on paper to elect these people. We need to put this petition, get this petition done, signed, share it around, and send it in to these people who we have elect. When they see now in black and white, then action has to be taken, because it's no longer people talking about stuff. For instance, it's like when you're dealing with law, sitting down and talking about crime and violence or stuff forth, but yet, excuse me, we're not going to the police when the police come to ask for information or giving information or so on and so forth. We're not going to testify. So put it this way, our signature on this petition is us testifying in black and white that we need to hold these vultures, these hyena, accountable. Because they thought, as Buju said, they thought that they bought some fools, but they realize we no longer fool. And we thought we put in people who's going to be transparent, hold down crime and violence, sleep with our door open, and no corruption, and they will be holding people accountable for those stuff. However, we got different. And it's time for us to hold these people accountable. Let's get this petition out, sign, share as much as possible on every platform. And people, I've been getting questions like, can Jamaicans sign this petition? Yes, it's for just us Jamaican people. Whether you live in Jamaica or anywhere around the world, it's for us. It's for us to sign. It's for us to get it done. Let's take action. Action, not a bag of mouth. This is OBC Radio, Second Chances for the Forgotten Voices. We want to thank all our participants for listening and calling in, and continue to stream us on all our social media platform, OBC Radio, right across the board. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn your notification on. Download our radio app in your Google Play Store or your Apple App Store, or go to our website, obcradio.com. Stream us from there. Second Chances for the Forgotten Voices.